This is Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We're broadcasting from the Concierge Landscape Studios, and we're brought to you by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. Time now for a message from the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association. The MHA Minute is brought to you by Pest Control Services. When you need an exterminator, you need someone reliable and effective. Call Greg Keener at Pest Control Services, 952-894-9748. Pest Control Services is a proud member of Angie's List and a member of the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association. That's Pest Control Services, 952-894-9748. And tell Greg that Gene and Tony sent you.
Do you need products to successfully run your rental property business? Interested in a class about fair housing or rekeying locks? Want to use the plain language lease that is used by the majority of rental property owners in Minnesota? Then you should visit mmha.com. That's two M's, mmha.com. That's the website for the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association, the most comprehensive resource in the state for owners of everything from a duplex to hundreds of units, and for townhome and condo associations as well. They've been around for 40 years and put on hundreds of seminars, publish a monthly magazine, sell Attorney General approved leases, and have countless other tools for property owners. While they are a membership organization, all of their resources and seminars and their annual convention and their spring conference and their orientation programs are open to everyone. For more information, visit the website, mmha.com.
So our last segment here, Gene, we have a very special guest, right?
Yes, we do. I'm happy to welcome back to Where You Live someone who's been on a number of times before. Folks, he's one of my best friends, my best buddies. He's my business partner, too, with New Concepts, and also the president of our contracting company, Start to Finish Contracting. We want to welcome back Leonard Hovde. Hi, Leonard.
Hi, Tony. Hi, Gene.
Hi,
Thanks
Len.
for having me back.
Yeah, great to have you.
Thanks for giving us a few minutes of your time here today. We wanted to get your opinion on something, Len. It looks like the Department of Energy is going to be making some requirements that may have some homeowners a little bit nervous about requirements now on the efficiency ratings of what must be put in for new mechanicals in their homes. And that would be, I think, specifically furnaces and water heaters. Is that correct?
Furnaces and air conditioners.
HVAC. Okay.
Yeah, the word on the street was that something was happening with furnaces that were going to cost homeowners money. And with a little help from Gene doing some research, we found out that on May 1st of 2013, the DOE is going to require that in the northern climes here that we have furnace efficiencies for new furnaces going into homes going up to 90%.
Ooh, it has to be 90% or more, right?
90% or more. And the significance of that is that the furnace itself might cost a little bit more, but the venting of the furnace is different from an 80% efficient water heater or furnace.
Yeah.
An 80% furnace usually just drafts up a chimney. We call it a gravity vent, where the products of combustion essentially just float up a chimney and out of the house.
Uh-huh.
When you take more energy out of the natural gas, the products of combustion end up being cooler, and they don't manage so well. So to get them out of the house, we use an inductor fan, or what we call a power vent, and we push it out of the house either through some PVC piping or stainless steel out the side of the house or up through the roof.
Okay. I can let me interject. I can see where that's kind of a major deal because until now, even old construction was set up so that the gases from the heating system could vent up through a chimney, right?
Right.
So if you had, I did this at my house. I had to put in a new boiler heating system, and it had to be vented out the side, and it's quite a bit more expensive.
Well, it's more expensive, and it's not such a big deal because I did the same thing. I wanted the higher efficiency. I paid for that. But what will happen with homeowners is that they might have a finished basement. They put in the new furnace after May 1st of 2013, and they might have to tear open ceilings, and finished areas to get this venting accomplished, and that's where the
cost
expense,
comes in.
yeah, the expense might come in.
Let's run through a couple of questions that I know are going in our listeners' mind that you can answer for them. People are asking, does this mean that even if I've got a furnace that's working well, I have to have it replaced to this newer, efficient model by May 1st of 2013?
No, as I read the rule, it doesn't say that at all. It's just that when you go to change your furnace out after that date, you have to buy the higher efficiency.
So
furnace.
anything existing right now that's functioning can remain.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and the thing I brought up with Gene was homeowners just need to know that it's probably going to be a little bit more expensive if they're concerned about costs. Try to get the work done ahead of time before that date, and they could just get the 80% efficient furnace. Talk to their HVAC guys, and they'll steer them through all this. But
Yeah.
the other two groups of people that I thought would be interested in this are property managers and homeowner or townhome board members.
Sure.
And where this comes into play is I had a friend who lived in a townhome. He wanted to put in a higher efficiency furnace, and he went to the board and said, I'm going to have to vent this out either the front of the house or up through the roof. And they said, you can't do that. That doesn't meet our architectural standards.
Oh.
And so you cannot do that. And I said, I was just thinking that, well, once this comes along, then those standards are thrown out the window if they haven't been addressed.
Yeah.
Then homeowners are going to be willy-nilly putting the vents out anywhere, and so the property managers could look great by talking to their boards and saying,
ahead of time.
Let's come up with a standard of how we're going to handle this now.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, you're right. The standard, the one thing that people can do to prepare for this time would be for the board to architecturally say, what is it that we are going to allow? The same kind of things that weren't necessarily done with cable TV. You know, as we know in a number of associations, the cable company wanted to just string the cable any way they can along the side, and they'd punch it in one hole on the second floor, let the cable run along the siding, and punch it somewhere down
Just
below.
hang. Yeah.
So
Well, that was a huge.
Someone can get in another room.
Oh, that was a huge mess for rental property. If you drive in Minneapolis and drive through Uptown or those older neighborhoods, you'll see some buildings just strung with cables everywhere.
That's spaghetti everywhere.
Exactly.
And it's terrible. Well, and if you want some consistency in a townhome so that everything looks like it was planned, then the board should be starting to talk about this now.
Then they should plan ahead for this.
And then they can notify their residents, their owners, and then everyone has a heads up. So if someone puts it in incorrectly, they can go back and say, well, you were informed well ahead of time.
And it's so much easier if they put the policy and protocol in place before something has to be done, because then it can be followed. Then they can be the same and consistent with everybody, and there's a lot less headache.
Right. You know, that's right. That's right.
Let me ask you about this. So people don't have to have that replaced. Let's say someone on April 30th has their HVAC system goes out. If they want to put in an 80%, they still can do it on April 30th, right? Of 2013.
Yes, as I understand it, that's true.
Because one of the things that I think people might be concerned about is that some vendors may be using this to not really share the whole story and kind of convey a message that, boy, you better get this changed out now because the government's going to say you're going to have to do it in 2013.
They're presenting it as though you have to be in compliance with this by May 1st, 2013. And that's not the case, is it, Len?
Well, I'm not a lawyer. Let me put that caveat.
Yeah, but you're a plumber.
I'm a plumber. Plumbers know everything.
You do.
And we're recording everything you're saying.
That's
but
right.
Don't
Don't
worry,
be nervous.
Yeah.
No, but no. What they mean by compliance is when you go to put that furnace in.
After May 1st.
Yeah, the furnace has to comply with the rules.
Exactly. So I'm getting two important messages. If I'm thinking of replacing my heating system because it's on the verge, I might want to do it now with an 80% effective or efficient furnace and a lower cost installation. I could do that now to save some money, right?
Right.
Because
right.
if I wait a year, it's going to cost me a little more.
Right.
But May 1st, 2013 won't be the case. Hey, Len, that's all the time that we have for today. Thanks for giving us a few minutes of your time.
Well, you're welcome. It was good to talk to you guys.
Okay.
See you later.
That
All
was
right, bye-bye.
Len Hovde, president of Start to Finish Contracting. Well, hey, that's all the time that we have on today's show. Thanks for joining us, and we can't wait to have you here next Saturday on Where You Live with Gene and Tony.